Let's start with the words of Warren Buffett. Diversification is protection against ignorance, meaning protection against not understanding what you're doing. And diversification is not necessary if you know what you're doing. How many companies should you have in an investment portfolio? The fewer companies, the greater the potential volatility of the portfolio. As we can see from this chart, however, having around 10 companies in the portfolio already significantly reduces portfolio volatility. Especially with large companies, adding more companies does not significantly reduce volatility. You're probably wondering about the composition of my investment portfolio. It contains exactly 10 companies. However, the three largest positions account for 69% of my portfolio. The better you know a company and understand its potential, the more capital you want to allocate to purchasing those best stocks. Is 69% a lot or a little? What does Warren Buffett's stock portfolio look like? 67% of his stock portfolio is concentrated in the three largest companies, so very similar to mine, slightly less. Additionally, Warren Buffett holds a whopping 51% in shares of one company, Apple. Alright, let's move on to geographic diversification. Excessive geographic and asset class diversification is not something I engage in. But did my decisions turn out to be correct? Many so-called investing gurus advocated for investing in Chinese companies and buying gold as assets worth considering in an investment portfolio. Let's evaluate the returns achieved by these assets in 2023. Largest Chinese technology companies in 2023. Alibaba, minus 6.3%. Tencent, minus 9.0%. JD.com, minus 44.7%. As you can see, these weren't good investments. The fact that these companies appear cheap on paper isn't everything. There is also geopolitical risk, which prevents global capital from flowing into China. In a video from 2 years ago, I talked about my closed investments in Chinese companies. I sold my last Chinese stocks from my equity portfolio in February 2021. I recognized the growing political risk and the diminishing reliance of the world's economies on China. I made my profit from Chinese stocks, and since the sale, all the Chinese companies I sold are now over 50% lower. So it was a very good decision. The next favorite asset, gold. Gold also incurred a loss of minus 3.0% this year. And which companies did I have and still have in my portfolio? My portfolio only includes Polish and American technology companies. And the stocks of these companies performed exceptionally well. Polish technology companies, CD Projekt, plus 19.7%. Playway, plus 34.2%. Allegro, plus 37.2%. And the largest American technology companies, Microsoft, plus 23.8%, Apple, plus 26%, Alphabet, plus 35.5%, Amazon, plus 48.8%, Tesla, plus 64.1%, Meta Platforms, plus 120.8%. For better comparison, I converted the returns into a single currency, the Polish zloty. Only 3 of the mentioned companies today are in my investment portfolio. Join the investment mentoring group to learn the full lineup, all 10 companies from my portfolio. As you can see, excessive geographic diversification wasn't a good decision. Similarly, adding gold to the portfolio resulted in a loss. It's worth focusing on the most promising markets and companies. I concentrate on assets that, according to my analysis, should provide me with the highest return. Are you investing in the best companies as a method of building wealth, or are you relying on a state pension in a few decades? I've been investing in the stock markets for over 10 years. I'm an engineer and a data analysis specialist. In investing, I focus on technology companies. Viewers asked me to create a group where I could show how I invest. There are already several dozen people in English and Polish groups. You can join Patreon. And if you appreciate the content I produce for you for free and you want to show your support and help promote this content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and you will hear from me again in the next episode. You can also receive my comments more frequently here.